Hey, good people. This is the Confessions of a Nail Tech podcast. I'm your host, Rashida H. Muhammad, Nail Tech affectionately known as Ra. I have so much to share with you this evening. Welcome. Let's get started. Happy New Year and happy first Tuesday, everybody. This is a really good time. Woo! Happy Tuesday. It is the first Tuesday of the month. I hope you enjoyed your New Year's, your holiday. Actually, I hope you enjoyed your New Year. We're not talking about anything that happened last year because this is day 3 into 2003, and I am excited. I'm excited. I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy that I'm here. And I'm telling you, there is something magical happening this year. I feel it. I can feel it in my bones, and I hope that you do too. But I hope you're well. Actually, how are you? Let me know. Tweet me and say, hey, Ra, I'm listening to episode 5, and I want to tell you that I'm doing great today. I'm doing great this evening, and I'm happy. So good people, thank you. This is the Confessions of a Nail Tech podcast, episode 5 of season 3. We have made it 3 seasons, good people. 3 seasons. And we just keep getting better with time, and we just keep growing. I am so blessed and so thankful for you all. And I am truly, truly of service to you, and I am happy that you're here. So let's get kicking. I saw a post on one of the groups that I follow, or in one of the groups that I follow, for nail technicians, and it was regarding our appearance. So, does your appearance matter in the salon? We're going to take a quick break, pay some bills, and get back into it because I feel like, well, I'll tell you later. Well, let's get into it. Does your appearance matter in the salon? Well, yes. Think about your first impression. First impressions are lasting impressions. And the way you present yourself speaks before you can introduce yourself, really. The reason I bring it up is because I saw a post in one of the nail groups that I'm a member of, and one relatively newly established nail technician asked the question. She asked the question to the group, and she set it up as follows. She says, I always wear my white apron, and I am always freshly showered, and I try to wear fragrances that are not offensive to smell, and I do not wear makeup to the salon. But I do present myself nice and neat, and I fear that it is costing me clients. I don't know, right? So first of all, when I saw that, I thought to myself, oh wait, I can only imagine what it feels like to, after you've gone through school, after you've sat through the state board, practical and written, and then to have to worry about how you look when you actually are working in the salon space, because for the last 6 months or so, you wore all black and an apron or a smock. So now that you're in the salon, what are the general rules of thumb for being in a salon space? And I can only imagine. And then I really started to think about when I started out in the salon almost 10 years ago. And I remember I naturally had a sense of style, and I read the room. And what reading the room means is taking stock of what's the environment that you're in when you're in the salon, because it varies by space. And looking at your client's appearance, and also looking at your coworker's appearance, and just seeing where you fit and what happy medium you may have. And then going from there. So my first nail salon job, I was working in a high traffic area on the city's Eastside. And we had a lot of younger clientele and older women who like to keep themselves groomed and together. We had maybe a handful of male clients, but I saw Louis Vuitton bags, Gucci bags, jewelry, flashy cars pulling up. So you can only imagine the kind of women we would get in the salon. And then in addition to that, my coworkers also dressed that way. So they were put together well. Louis bags, Gucci bags, nice hair, pulled up out of their face, nice clothes, fashionable. And the environment was casual but stylish. So I decided that was something that I needed to do too. And ultimately, it did affect your clientele because people are looking at how you carry yourself. And I will never forget, I shared this story season 1 and season 2, and I'm sharing it again season 3. I remember working in the salon, and one lady sits down and examines my nails. And she said, "Now, Miss Rashida, what are we doing with your nails?" And I'm like, what? Because I'm so, that had been a busy week. And there are times where, as a professional, you don't get a chance to pamper yourself because of how busy it can get. And so my nails were not done. And so she said, "I don't go to a hairstylist whose hair isn't done. So I don't really go to nail technicians whose nails aren't done either." Man, when she said that, my heart dropped to my stomach because I was like, oh no, one more thing to worry about. So, it wasn't done from a mean way, because I get it. You have to present yourself well and put your best foot forward. And there is a such thing as pretty privilege. It really is. Like we can talk about everybody. There's space for, and it is. Don't get me wrong. But pretty privilege is still a thing. And when you're more attractive, or people are attracted to your spirit and attractive to your physical, and then also attracted to how you carry yourself, you tend to make more money in these spaces. You're in the beauty enhancement work line of business. So naturally, yes, does your appearance matter in the salon? Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break. Don't cancel me, but it's true. We work in a industry that is very, very vain. So let's take a break and we'll get back to this. Since we're on the topic of appearance, we work in the beauty industry. And while the standard of beauty varies across the board, across different cultures, you want to look presentable in the nail salon. I'm not saying you have to go spend yourself broke on Louis Vuitton bags and Gucci bags or whatever else you think that you need to make yourself look expensive. I'm saying that you should look polished in the nail salon. You should have yourself together. Your hair should be neatly done. You shouldn't smell offensive, so you need to shower. You should cleanse yourself. Cologne or perfumes, those are optional. But I know some scented lotions are fine too. Some body soaps tend to linger. And even your hair care products, try not to use anything that is super offensive. So things that are light, coconut, jojoba, baby oil. I mean, there's even coconut or cocoa butter Vaseline, and just things that you're not offensive, because ultimately that can interfere with your tip. I'm joking, but I'm not joking. I remember the other salon I worked in, this is Confessions of a Nail Tech, so if she's listening, you understand. There was another salon I had worked in, and there was a particular nail tech who the owner had to pull her aside on numerous occasions to tell her to get herself together. And I was no different. There were times where there was one moment in particular where she had to pull me aside and ask, what was going on with my hair, or, just to make sure that when you're coming into this space that you look presentable. This is your brand and you are representing her brand, right? So fortunately, it finally the nail technician got it, and she started to care a little bit more about her appearance, and it certainly did affect her tips. And again, we work in the beauty industry, so fortunately for us, we do start the trend. So whatever we think is cute or however we put ourselves up, these clients are looking to us for direction as well. Not just what our nails look like. They're looking at how we have our hair done. They're looking at if we wear makeup. They're looking at what we smell like. They really are. I can't tell you how many times clients have asked what kind of perfume I'm wearing, or what kind of lotion I'm wearing, or just eyeing some of the products that I have on my table because they want it for themselves. So you have to be an example, and you have to set the example, thus setting the beauty standard for that experience for the client. Part of it is you do want to attract clients to the business, and then, attract clients who want to stay and get serviced and have conversation. If this is a multi-layered encounter, sure, they're coming in for a service, but some are also coming in for a conversation. Some are coming in to escape from their work life, their family lives, and they want something nice to entertain them for that time being, for that 30 minutes, that hour and a half, however long you're going to be servicing them. And I know I'm treading a fine line here, but you understand, those that get it understand that you have to pay close attention to the way that you're carrying yourself in the salon. You are a full packaged deal. How you look, how you speak, how you act, how you conduct yourself on the internet, all of these things, people are looking at you. You are in a fishbowl because people have their eyes on you at all times when you work in the beauty profession, not just nail technology. So my simple answer is yes, appearance does matter in the nail salon. I have had the pleasure of working in an array of salons, actually, where the dress code was set by the salon owner, and the dress code was also set by the nail technician. So for all of us to look uniform, I've worked in salons where we do have a uniform. It's a t-shirt with the salon's name on it, khaki pants or black pants, or jeans on Fridays. And you had to wear comfortable closed-toed shoes, except for in the summers for natural reasons. And then if you were going to wear sandals, then your feet needed to be done. Your toes needed to be pedicured, because that is also advertisement too. So remember when I said that you are a walking, talking representation of the brand? Well, yeah, when you're in this industry, you are a walking, talking advertisement, and sometimes free advertisement for the service that you do. So for nail technicians, my nails are always done, my toes are always done, my eyebrows are always done, hair is always how it needs to be. And then as a cosmetologist, everything on you needs to look tip top because you know how to do all these things. So, I've also worked in in a nail salon where it was very casual. Like the one I mentioned, my first job. It was very casual, but cute and appropriate. So I remember I got pulled aside for having a low-cut top on, and I didn't notice. These things have a mind of their own, but I didn't notice. I put the shirt on just thinking I was getting dressed for the day, and a husband and wife came in, or girlfriend and boyfriend came in, and the girlfriend complained that my top was too low-cut. Now, I didn't notice, but hey, people have their things about them. They have their icks, and that was one of her icks about having her husband in an area that is predominantly female and having a female with all of that out while being serviced. And I was doing a pedicure, so it was easy to see clear down my shirt. I didn't notice, but hey. So I never wore that shirt again. Understood, bad Rashida. So I put that shirt out of the rotation to wear in the salon space, because also too, when you get dressed to go to work, you have to prepare for a mess. So you don't want to wear the good clothes in the salon because it's going to get splashed with chemical. It's going to get splashed with callus remover or nail polish or acetone or any other spill that could possibly happen in a nail salon. You want to be cute, but you also want to know that these are also play clothes. These are clothes that could get destroyed in a second. So be cute, but be practical. Don't go spending yourself broke over the newest thing and you spill polish on it because now it's worth nothing. And I've also worked in a salon where there was no dress code. Absolutely no dress code. You just came to work and you did your job. And then that other salon I worked for was my own, where I purposely wore things that were a part of the brand. So before Nails by Rob, before Confessions of a Nail Tech, I ran a mobile salon called Pinky Promise. And Pinky Promise is the salon that would travel to postnatal mothers as well as end-of-life stage clients who was preparing for that time and they wanted their nails done and your girl went and did it. Those are experiences that I hold near and dear, and I wore what was appropriate. You know, I understood who my clients were. I made house calls, I made hospital calls, I made visits. I also made visits to clients who were recovering from surgery. And, you know, women are going to want these things done. And luckily there's a market for it. And I went out and did these services. And I gave myself that I'm always representing the brand. So it was Pinky Promise. So I had cute earrings with the Pinky Promise logo. It had a nail polish spelling out Pinky Promise. It was really cute. And I always wore pink, had some kind of pink on me with those earrings that said Pinky Promise, and I kept business cards on me. And trust me, this is long before Instagram became what it is. This is long before Facebook and Twitter became what they are. And I was just, you know, old school billboard, self-promoting Pinky Promise mobile nail salon. Okay. And these are all just different examples of how appearance does mean something in the nail salon space, whether you are in control of your appearance, meaning that you control your wardrobe for that salon, or you have to order uniforms in the salon, or you have no direction for what to wear. The best rule of thumb in those instances where you have absolutely no direction for what to wear is to revert back to what you would wear when you would have your lab days in school. When you would have lab days, what was your uniform? You had to wear your smock, or you had to wear your apron, and you had to be in what colors? Black. You have to wear sensible shoes that were also black, and you have to wear things that would not dangle, hang, or get in the way of interfering with your service, and your hair had to be pulled away from your face. So if you ever get in doubt, you can always dress that up. You can wear cute pearl earrings, cute stud earrings, pull your hair up into a cute bun with baby hair or braids, and just have it out your face so that it doesn't interfere with the service that you're doing. So that's always my general rule of thumb. Be stylish. You could be simple, but you can also be stylish, and make sure that whatever you choose to wear does not interfere with the quality of service that you're providing. Okay, so we're going to take another quick break, get some water, refresh, and jump back into this appearance. Does it matter? Yes or no? What do you say? Yeah. I know this is the break right now, but I needed to give a shameless social media plug and shout out to my new followers, because again, without you, there is no Confessions of a Nail Tech podcast. And I just love this community. I love the nail technology community because you all have showed up and showed out for me. So if you aren't already following, make sure you follow me at Nails by Ra on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and also visit www.nailsbyra.com. Let's get into it. First of all, I need to shout out the nail tech community for the nail tech directory for the Carolinas, because this group is a group of an amazing nail technicians. So that's the first one. My goodness, I want to shout out so many of you. There are so many of you. There's so many. let's see. I want to shout out Queen K Official. Shout out to Nay Hair Slay Lashaway. Shout out to Kimberly Thomas. Shout out to Chic Vein Apparel. Shout out to Nail Tune. Shout out to Queen Gawaya. I'm sorry if I'm butchering these names, but shout out to you. Shout out to Naillicious84. Shout out to Claws by Corey. Shout out to _nailed_lady. Shout out to NJW_nails. Shout out to Rain Solutions. Oh my goodness. Nails by DJ. And shout out to Luxy Beauty Nails. Thank you so much for finding the Confessions of a Nail Tech page. Shout out to all of you for just following and engaging and keeping my spirits lifted, because this is a lifelong game if you let it be. And when I tell you it is important to have community and people in your circle, because you cannot do all of this alone. It is, you can't do it alone. And it's crazy to think that you can. Any great organization is an organization of many people. And this nail tech community is an organization of many people. And thank you. Again, if you aren't already following me on social media, make sure you follow me at Nails by Ra on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, as well as check out www.nailsbyra.com. Welcome to the village, y'all. One other aspect, and then we're going to get out of here. I won't keep you too long. One other aspect of appearance, I covered physical appearance in the nail salon. But your spiritual appearance as well, non-physical appearance, matters as well in the salon. Meaning, if you're having a bad day, take a couple breathers beforehand or explain to your client that today is a bad day for you. And you're working through it, so you apologize for, you're human. Okay? And I say that because I have witnessed some salon employees have a bad day and take it out on the clients. Now, in season 1, I talk about firing your client who is unruly, but clients also have a right to fire their nail technician too, because the way that you appear, meaning your emotional state as well, matters in the salon space too, because these are paying customers who are coming in for an experience, and they may be having a bad day too. So their bad day should always cancel your bad day, because there's no good thing that ever comes from two people who want something in exchange for something having bad days and coming together when they both are having a bad day. So make sure you also check that too. Check your attitude at the door. In the same way we ask clients to check their attitudes at the door, we also have to be cognizant of our own attitudes when we step into this workspace. You try, and again, you are human. So if you need some time before you start to service someone, to go shake it off, cry it out, scream into a pillow or your jacket really quickly, make sure to do that before you exchange that energy onto your client, because nothing feels good about that, because you can feel that your hands are hot, they're clammy, you're dropping stuff, or you're shaking the drill a little bit too much, or you're being a little too rough with the client. You have to be conscious of that. Nail techs and nail tech students listening, everybody has bad days, and we're no different. But I am saying this as a word of caution. In addition to how you dress and how you smell and how your hair is done, you also have to check that emotional appearance as well. So that is my tidbit. Make sure that you are passing positive energy to your clients, because 9 times out of 10, they're coming in before work, in the middle of work, after work, or right before having to pick up the children, or just picking up the children to drop them off, or doing so much in the day that when they come to you, they don't want this to be another battle that they have to fight. Okay? So just keep that in mind too. I know it's easier said than done, but I've had to check myself before too. There have been times, and I'm going to let you in on a secret, because these are things that I often wonder about, flight attendants, pilots, people who work in a service where they're in a fixed space for an extended amount of time. When you get ill, and specifically when you have a stomach ache or a stomach bug, I've had to work through a severe stomach ache before. And you have to suck it up. You do. You have to suck it up and you have to work through it. There were a couple of times where you have to pause and say, excuse me, I need to go, I need to take a break for a moment, or you work through the service and take advantage of those points in between. So prime example, if your client is soaking their nails off, or they're soaking in the finger bowl before a manicure and during the pedicure, give your clients time to soak. Okay, and I'm winking through the microphone right now. I am winking because you use those times to go grab a bite to eat, go do like quick 1 to 2 minute self-care things. And that includes taking care of yourself if you feel ill. I've done that before. Real personal story. This was one of those busy days over the summer, and I hadn't put anything on my stomach other than an acidic orange. I had an orange for breakfast. You know how bad of an idea it is to put acid into an empty belly? Well, I learned that day. That it is a terrible idea to start your day with an orange and nothing else. Okay? And this happened like clockwork. I was in between clients. One was finishing drying and getting ready to pay, and then one was coming back to sit down in the pedicure chair, and I felt my stomach do a cartwheel. It did a cartwheel. And I'm like, oh boy. Well, for the next 45 minutes, I have to pretend that I am fine, and I was not fine. And I'm assuming that the client thought I had an attitude that I didn't want to do her pedicure, and that's not true. And I remember this exactly clear as day, because she didn't tip me either. So this is why I tell you, use my story as a cautionary tale to you. Your attitude can cost you your tip. So when the client came in, she also already had an attitude too. That is a disclaimer. She also already had an attitude, and she came in with her boyfriend. And we had a policy in our salon that, there were different packages for the pedicure that you could get. And the one package was for our clients who saw us faithfully every 1 to 2 weeks, because in those 1 to 2 weeks, your feet really don't get that bad. It's the 3-month or 2-month pedicures that would come in and try to get that first layer of pedicure done. And that's not true, because it wouldn't have been fair to get that kind of pedicure because it takes longer. And the express pedicure was for our regulars who, they also did maintenance at home. So when they came in, they're just doing a polish change and a real simple pedicure. Okay. So I examined this client's feet, and honey, she did not qualify for an express pedicure, nor was she one of our regular clients. So I'm explaining our policy to her, and she got belligerent. Okay. Attitude, eye rolling, neck snapping, and trying to tell me about my job when I'm the professional. And I had to explain to her, well, I take care of my feet. I don't barely need this. I only need a polish change. And I'm thinking, no, ma'am, you need to sit down and soak, because I can see your cuticles from here. And I can see the buildup on your cuticles from here. And I oblige, because I'm just like, you know what? My stomach is rumbling. I need to get through this service. I don't want to hear anything else out of this woman's mouth. So luckily the salon owner saw the interaction, and she saw the look on my face and let me do the express pedicure on a woman who did not qualify. So I did her pedicure in 30 minutes exactly, because the express pedicure is 30 minutes. That is what you get. That is all you get. And she was so unhappy with the results. But the entire way I was explaining to her, I gave her good bedside manner, just like I do with all of my clients, explaining each step of the pedicure process or manicure process along the way, because you have a right to know. And I'm sure there are clients or people who aren't nail technicians yet listening, but You have a right to know what products are being put on you when you go into these salon spaces in case you have an allergic reaction. You want to be able to tell your doctor or whoever your healthcare provider is what was put on you to warrant that kind of reaction. So, that's always in the back of my mind. So I'm explaining it to her, and the entire time my stomach is doing cartwheels, backflips, and I'm just sitting there trying to stomach it all, literally. And I had to pause. I had to give her time to dry, and that was my saving grace. And I disappeared for a good 10 minutes, okay, without saying too much. And my stomach was still a mess. So once she was finished, she was at the front desk complaining about me. And I pulled the owner to the side and said, "Excuse me, I just need to run to Walgreens really quickly and get some Pepto-Bismol and some ginger ale or some peppermints, and then I will be fine." And again, the owner saw the look on my face, and she allowed me to take some time to go handle myself. And I did. I didn't ask to go home because it was a busy day. So I pulled it together and checked my emotional well-being because I wasn't feeling the greatest that day. I felt like crap, but I stomached through, and I continued to provide the service. After that client left, it didn't help that she also had an attitude, but after she was serviced and gone, so was my stomach ache, and I was able to complete the day and stay until 8 o'clock like everybody else and finish out the busy summer nail salon work day. So I say all this to say, learn from me and also be transparent with your clients without being vulgar. Let them know if you're having a bad day or if you feel ill or if something is going on that takes you outside of your normal way of producing or providing a service. You're human. You are not a machine. Even though you may feel like it sometimes, you are not a machine. All right? So I told you I wasn't going to keep you too long, but I did. But as promised, I want to thank you for tuning in to the Confessions of a Nail Tech podcast. Until next time. Hey there. I know we covered a lot today, and I got to share a personal story about appearance, quite a few personal stories about appearance having a place in the nail salon and why it matters. But I wanted to go over just a couple of quick highlights, just in case you're just now tuning in and want to get the highlights about what went on in this episode. I talked about appearance, physical appearance. The things that you wear in the salon, how you smell, and then we also touched on emotional appearance, paying attention to your emotional presence as well in the nail salon, because those things coupled together ultimately determine how many clients you're going to be able to get. It determines your reputation, and it ultimately determines your tip. Yeah. I know people have the suggested gratuity, but clients tend to tip more when they've had a wonderful service and when you have yourself together. So you make sure you're paying attention to your physical appearance, your internet appearance, and your emotional appearance. Okay? That's all I have for you. Until next time, ciao. Thank you for tuning in to the Confessions of a Nail Tech podcast. I've been your host, Rashida H. Muhammad, Nail Tech affectionately known as Ra. Make sure you tune in next week, Tuesday, for our next episode. Looking forward to hearing from you. In the meantime, subscribe to the Confessions of a Nail Tech podcast and make sure you stay in the loop by following me across the board on social media at Nails by Ra. Also visit me at www.nailsbyra.com. Until next time.